So if you're watching this video, that probably means that you're a human being capable of some basic functions such as thinking. That also means that you're driven with curiosity and you have a lot of questions ranging from the very essence of the existence all the way to why is the color of your poop the way it is, which by the way is also something that I made a video about because I'd be like that sometimes. Now, as you can imagine, that hardly ranks as the biggest mystery of the universe, mostly because it has an answer and nobody cares about the color of your poop. Something else, however, does top the list and has been intriguing humans since the dawn of our species, and that is the question why everything, including you, came to be. Now, when we try to give some possible answers to this millennia-old question, there are two possible routes that we can take, and on a first glance, those two are irreconcilably different. As some of you probably guessed, I'm talking about religion and its spiritual approach, and science with factual and theoretical explanation. If we're talking about religion, we have to recognize the fact that over centuries, many different religions have gained foot in different parts of the world and cultures at various times. Some religions are monotheistic, such as Christianity or Islam, and their main belief is that there is one supreme being, aka the God, who presides over fates of everything. Many other, however, or used to be, are polytheistic, believing in many different gods known as pantheon, in which every one of them has a specific role that it fulfills. Although all religions are unique in the way they explain certain things and events, they all share some aspects of its teachings. Almost all of them have a singular point or a momentum when the world and everything in it and around it was created, one or multiple gods, and the second phase of that is everything that has happened ever since. Now, depending on whether you are a person of faith or if you put science above all, you probably had a discussion about certain things or events that ended by you saying or hearing it is the will of the work of God and we are not meant to understand it. If you are a believer and you accept the teachings of your religion, you're absolutely fine with this answer, and honestly all others should be okay with that because you're, or at least you should be able to have your beliefs and freedom, especially in this day and age. However, if you are a science person, you simply cannot accept this as your final answer. You probably see this as an excuse rather than a rational explanation, and you ask for evidence, and more importantly, you try to counter that with your own beliefs. As you can imagine, this conversation turns into a nightmare pretty quickly and ends with mentioning each other moms in not a nice manner, and that is not okay. Only I get to mention your mom when I say that she's about as big as the universe. Anyway, the dead end with this religious explanation on why everything came to be is the fact that there is no answer. Sure, the God or gods created everything, but what was before and why was everything after remains a mystery regardless which way you go. If you find this unsatisfactory and start to feel a dose of instant existential crisis, you may want to turn to science in a search for a rational explanation. Now, scientific research is like religion, as old as humans are. From the very first day we started learning about new occurrences as well as flora and fauna around us, trying to make sense of it and learn how to utilize it in our own advantage. Now, saying that this gave fruit will be a serious understatement. The discoveries of a wheel or fuel gave rise to our advancement and helped us conquer this planet from frozen wastelands of your planet's poles to the dry sandy deserts and lush forests. That is not where we stop, however. Even now as we speak, our engineers are trying to take us above the surface of the Earth into the solar system and beyond. Now, science, being factual by definition, is able to explain many things. We learned what is gravity and how does it work. We know the principles of combustion, thus we are able to make engines to power our industries. Many medical breakthroughs happen as a result of testing and trying to understand human body and the way it is affected by everything on this planet. If we try to follow the path of science and go back to the very beginning, most theories supported by the facts that we already proved would bring us to the Big Bang Theory. To put this into context, think of this as a scientific version of the religions. In the beginning, there was nothing. Now, for many who got this far in a search for the answers of all answers, this is also not enough. Many would say, well, what is the difference between this and the one in which God was the creator? It is a fair question to say the least. Many hypotheses in the scientific community try to unravel this. Some suggest that before there was nothing but the vast and empty space for eons until the Big Bang and the creation of galaxies, planets, and stars. Others think that the Big Bang was not an isolated incident, but rather a repetitive process that has been going on for an infinite amount of time, and it will continue to do so in the future. As you can see, the issue with the science trying to answer this question is that in order to get answers, it needs evidence. And the further something is from our reach in both physical and time aspect, the harder it is for us to get a hold of them. Now, this does not mean that science is wrong or that it shouldn't be trusted. It simply means that it has its limitations. So this brings us to a specific moment. See, both paths took us to the same point, a point with no rational explanation and no definitive answer. Now, you may find this strange. How can you follow these completely different ways? They're in essence opposed to each other and yet, at least for now, be at the same spot, a dead end. Well, you see, the issue is the way we think of this. See, both religion and science are ways in which we try to make sense of everything around us. Both are based on our beliefs and experiences, whether they be factual, theoretical, or mythical. So in that regard, they aren't that different, at least when it comes to the ultimate goal. And when it comes to the quest for answer why everything is the way it is, we just may never know. Humanity may end before we unravel this mystery, and certainly not in my or your lifetime. So that brings us to the end of this video today. It's a little bit longer than the usual shorts that I do. I will start doing these more often if you have any interest in this. This channel, even though I'm so grateful for all of you that have been following me since last December when I started this, has been growing exponentially, but it's still pretty small for sponsorship. So I do have my Patreon link down in the description and the pinned comment. So if you think that you can chip in a little bit, I would appreciate that. If not, just stay tuned for some other videos that I will be uploading. Please leave a comment down there. I do want to hear your opinion about this. To say the least, it's a very complicated topic and it's not easy to give an answer to this, regardless which background you come from or which way do you swing above the ones that we mentioned. So anyways, yeah, stay safe and I'll see you on the next one.